So it's kind of like a squid stuffed into a shell. And it's my favorite creature because I just couldn't believe that it even existed, you know? All right, so now that you've seen my favorite, all right, I wanted to start off to make sure that we all know the same words. So can someone volunteer to define maybe what a fossil is for everybody so that we all are on the same page and we know what we're talking about? Kobe, you want to do it? All right, why don't you unmute yourself so we can hear you.
A fossil is a kind of bone in the ground which extinct animals are fossils.
Yeah, so it could be like a bone. What else could it be? Could it be a footprint? Would that be a fossil? Yeah, that would be a fossil. Could it be a plant? Would that be a fossil? No. Sometimes plants are fossils too. So it doesn't even have to be something that's
It can be a plant. It could be anything from the past that have been turned into rock. Any animal, even a plant, even a tree, even just an ancient tree stump.
Yeah, it could be a plant. It could be an animal.
Or even an ancient dinosaur tooth.
It could be a dinosaur. It could
or maybe dinosaur.
I don't really know about fossils and stuff.
No, you did a great job, Kobe. You did a great job explaining what a fossil was. You did a great job. Wesley, did you have something to add?
No.
Oh, okay. I saw you unmuted yourself. Yeah, so a fossil is something that remains behind from like an animal, a plant, a fungus, a bacteria. It could really be anything that was alive at one point. And it could either be the animal itself, like its bones, its skeleton, that kind of thing, its exoskeleton, if it's like a crab, or it could be an imprint from the animal. So like a dinosaur track or a skin impression. So what if a dinosaur sits down for a little bit and then you're left with the impression of where it sat or where it laid down or even where it died? That's a fossil too. So all of that is fossils. Great job, guys. Good teamwork.
Oh yeah, wait.
Yeah. Okay, who wants to define extinct for everyone?
Oh, can I do it?
Yeah, go ahead. Wesley, go ahead.
When all of its species are no longer alive and you only have bones of it.
Yeah, so it's when something is no longer on Earth, right? And sometimes something will say, sometimes scientists will say something is virtually extinct. And when
like
something
almost extinct.
It's almost extinct, and there's no chance of bringing it back as a species. So if there's only
unless we learn Jurassic Park's secret.
Unless we learn how to clone and bring dinosaurs back or bring an animal back, it could be virtually extinct. And I think that maybe next week we'll learn a little bit about endangered species and what we can do to help save them from extinction. I think that might be our topic next week. So we got extinct.
I don't remember where I saw this, but like, isn't there like some type of rhino that's like close to extinction?
Yeah, I think the white rhino, but we'll have to look it up for next week. Yeah, good question. Okay, let's see. All right, our last one, evolution. Who would like to define evolution?
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
Evolution is when any form of life, from a cell to an animal or a plant, is in a new environment and needs to adapt. Such as a carnivore lands in an island and with barely any animals except for flying ones, it will rather evolve smooth scales to swim, or a long neck to eat branches, or a long tongue to pick off fruit from trees.
Yeah. And what's your name?
So it's like
My name's Devin.
Devin. Okay, because it just says your mom's name, Maria Gonzalez, and I figured you weren't Maria. Cool. Do you have something to add to that? Somebody said something?
I was gonna say that's pretty much like a carnivore on an island with only stuff an herbivore would eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it
evolves.
It's like
a place where it's not meant for carnivores, but it's meant for herbivores.
right? So the animal changes, it develops an adaptation so that it can evolve to be better suited for its environment. Awesome, guys. I think you did a really good job defining those three things. So just to review, a fossil was the remains or the impression of a prehistoric organism, so anything that was alive, preserved in a form such as a mold or a cast in a rock. Got that one really well. Okay, extinct, something no longer in existence, a species with no living members. And then we said virtually extinct is something that is almost extinct. And next week we'll talk about endangered animals too. So we're talking about extinct animals today, although I got something to tell you guys, and maybe some of you know it already, but not all dinosaurs are extinct. There are still a type of dinosaur that's out there.
Birds!
Yeah. You got it.
Pigeons! Yeah, because
You got
some certain types of dinosaurs finally survived this big disaster and it evolved into birds.
Very good, very good. All right, I'm gonna mute you guys to right now, okay? All right, I'll let you unmute when
dinosaurs.
birds are dinosaurs. So true. Okay, so we're gonna start with this little video since I don't know that much about dinosaurs and you guys have mostly learned about dinosaurs from movies. I think we should learn about dinosaurs from a more reputable, a better source, which is in this case, National Geographic. So we're gonna watch this movie. If you can hear it when I start it, make sure you give me a thumbs up so I know you can hear it, okay?
Probably no other creatures on the planet have struck as much fear and awe in our hearts as the dinosaurs. The earliest dinosaurs appeared about 245 million years ago during the Triassic period, when most of the Earth's land masses were still joined together as the supercontinent Pangaea. Over millions of years, Pangaea split apart, causing the dinosaurs to become separated for the very first time. This led the reptiles to adapt to their specific habitats and diversify, giving rise to many new dinosaur species. According to some estimates, more than 1,000 species of dinosaurs have roamed the Earth. All dinosaurs descended from reptiles called archosaurs. From there, dinosaurs branched out into two major groups, Saurischia and Ornithischia, based on the shape and orientation of their pelvis. In Saurischian dinosaurs, such as Tyrannosaurus rex and Brachiosaurus, the pelvis's pubis bone faces forward and down. In Ornithischian dinosaurs, such as Stegosaurus and Hadrosaurus, the pubis bone faces backward and down. Across both groups, dinosaurs varied greatly in size. Some were small, like Compsognathus, which was barely larger than a chicken, whereas others were gigantic, like Dreadnoughtus, which was 85 feet long and weighed 65 tons, making it the largest land animal to have ever lived. Dinosaur diets varied as well. Herbivores, like hadrosaurs, evolved to have specialized teeth for grinding tough plant material. Carnivores made up roughly 40% of dinosaur species. Some predators, like the raptor Deinonychus, even hunted in packs. Social behaviors were also found in other dinosaurs. Footprints and trackways indicate that some of the ancient reptiles traveled together. Evidence also shows that herds may have made annual visits to certain sites to lay their eggs. But by around 66 million years ago, most dinosaurs died out, and the reason why is still a mystery. The most well-known explanation is an asteroid strike, but a multitude of factors may have contributed to this extinction. In fact, the dinosaur population was already in severe decline by the time the asteroid struck. However, several dinosaur species survived, and some of which evolved to become today's birds. The world has never again seen land creatures as great as the dinosaurs. But through their descendants, and fossils left behind. Their legacy lives on.
All right. Sorry. Okay. So, pretty good video. All right, so we got an idea of kind of the timeline, but who can tell me what is a dinosaur? What do dinosaurs all have in common? Or what are some facts you know? Okay, so I see.
I have a fact.
Okay, let's let somebody who hasn't said anything yet talk. Wait, who was that? I don't even know who that was. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna.
That was Devin.
Okay, Wesley, give 1 second because I think a new person's gonna talk. Why don't you introduce yourself when you talk, okay? Okay. Go ahead. Oop, you're muted again. You had it for a minute, but you're muted now.
My name is Ogeti.
Yeah, what do you know about dinosaurs?
That some dinosaurs are
Do they have
some
scales?
dinosaurs only eat plants and the others only eat meat.
Yeah, totally. And some eat a little bit of both, probably. Some omnivores, right? Yeah, great fact. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, Wesley, do you have another fact you want to share now?
No.
Okay. Okay, so there's a few facts. Wait 1 second. Oh, you guys can see my notes? I didn't even know. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we know that dinosaurs were prehistoric reptiles, right? And so they're reptiles. So what does that mean? That means that they're cold-blooded, right? So they need warmth to maintain their body temperature. They can't make it inside them like humans do. And they lived on Earth from about 228 million years ago until the present. And we got an idea of what the reptiles that are still around are called. So I think you guys chimed in about that. And they varied a lot in size and shape. So when we picture a dinosaur, a lot of people picture like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a huge dinosaur. But in fact, there were some that were huge, some that weighed as much as 80 tons and were 120 feet long. And then there were others that were the size of a chicken and weighed as little as 8 pounds. So smaller than your cat in weight, so tiny, tiny. One of the facts that I didn't know is that all non-avian, avian means birds, dinosaurs lived on land. So we talked about the Mosasaurus earlier. That's not in fact a dinosaur, because the number one thing that you needed to be a dinosaur was, dun, 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 you need to be able to walk upright. So you need to be able to stand up and you have a hole in your hip socket. That allows dinosaurs to walk upright. So with like, wait, where is it? Here we go. So meat eaters, they would walk on 2 legs and hunt alone or sometimes in groups. And then plant eaters might walk on 2 or 4 legs and they grazed on plants. And so what's the difference here between a crocodile and a dinosaur? In this case, this is an Albertosaurus, this dinosaur. So we see that not only, so they might have looked similar, like they might have both had scales, although some dinosaurs even had feathers, we're finding out recently. You can also see that a crocodile, it doesn't have that, that hole in the hip socket that lets them stand upright, right? So it's down on the ground on its belly, right? So what other animals do we know that have a hole in the hip socket that lets them walk upright? You can write it in the chat, because there's a lot of you now, so I'd rather you stay muted. But let's write in the chat, what animals have a hole in their hip socket that lets them walk on 2 or 4 legs? Humans. A chicken is a dinosaur. They can walk on 2 legs, right? They can walk standing up. What others? Okay, tigers, birds. Okay, Awesome. Bears, totally. Yeah. So most reptiles today, though, they don't walk standing upright. They walk kind of on their bellies or they crawl along. Okay. So let's watch this video about our birds, modern day dinosaurs. And I think we have an answer, but let's see how it happened.
When an asteroid slammed into Earth 66 million years ago, only about 20% of all animal species survived. So, whatever happened to these lucky few? Birds come from a long line of survivors. It started millions of years before the asteroid strike with a dinosaur family called theropods. The theropod family featured reptilian specimens, some of which had bird-like traits, including feathers and three-toed feet. A distant cousin of theropods and today's birds was the Archaeopteryx. Fossils from Germany date the animal to about 150 million years ago, and they show how the animal may have even had both reptilian and avian traits. Many ancient birds would also exhibit this mishmash of traits. But eventually, some of these avian dinosaurs evolved to have more recognizably bird-like characteristics. One example is the sparrow-sized Sinornis sentensis, discovered in China around 1990. The archaic creature is considered one of the first birds capable of flight. In 1992, a new specimen was discovered in Antarctica. Called Vegavis ii, the 67-million-year-old creature may have looked like a duck and sounded like one. The fossil included a vocal organ called a syrinx, which is only found in today's quacking waterfowl. About 1 million years after the time of Vegavis ii, the asteroid struck Earth and redirected the evolutionary paths of many animals, including birds. 3 bird groups of the theropod family managed to make it through such a cataclysmic event, and scientists are still uncertain as to how. Ever since, birds have been able to adapt and evolve, eventually blooming into the over 10,000 species alive today. So the next time you're looking out at your bird feeder, remember that you're looking at the modern-day dinosaurs.
Okay. Duck equals a dinosaur. That's the favorite fact you've learned so far. What other fun facts have you guys learned so far from the videos?
A lot.
Okay, good. I'm glad you guys are learning. I know it's a lot of videos. It's just one of those topics that I don't know as much about. And I think National Geographic does a really good job. Kobe, did you learn something?
Not really. Not really.
You knew all of that stuff already?
Not really.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about prehistoric New York. We're going to talk about dinosaurs.
Yay!
In New York specifically. So this is a picture, I think this is in white stone, but this could be any city block, right?
That is cool.
Can you imagine dinosaurs right outside your house? So I love it.
That would be cool.
It would be really cool. It would be kind of scary though. I feel like dinosaurs, especially the
The
one.
meat eaters could actually hurt you, but the plant eaters, they would just like mess around a little.
These look like plant eaters. I think these are brontosauruses. So these are just the plant eaters. So hopefully if we ever bring dinosaurs back, we just bring them.
Like a giraffe. Yeah, it's
Or maybe
true.
we
So
have to-
you can. You
Or
can,
maybe
right?
because of us,
Right?
maybe
You
the
can.
dinosaurs will evolve. Don't you
They
know
would
that?
evolve. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
would have evolved. They would
Yeah.
evolve, but smaller maybe. Because they're not going to be adaptable to an environment like
You're
this.
right. You're right. You're right.
Because humans have existed for 200,000 years.
Yeah.
See, they do
Actually,
have,
he's right. He's right.
they do
I'm
have
glad you
enough-
guys have-
Actually, the humans have lived longer than that.
no, like about
Technically, no,
200,000 years.
because Humans evolved from
About.
apes.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
cavemen evolved into humans.
They did. That's true. So we're
And then
talking a lot about
most
evolution.
humans were
All of humankind came from a single ape.
know.
So guys, for now, we're gonna just have everybody on mute but me for right now. I'm glad that you guys all have so many questions. Okay, so mute
Stop
for
it,
right
Julia,
now.
please.
Mute for right now. Thank you. Okay, so in the chat, I'd like you to guess, what do you think one of the fossils, what do you think the state fossil of New York is? Take a guess at what kind of thing it is. It doesn't have to be a dinosaur.
Who wrote Duck Dino?
Take a guess at what you think the state fossil of New York is. A T-Rex bone. 2 people said that. Somebody told me that in private and a
A
message.
Tyrannosaurus Rex bone.
Yeah, you say that too? Well, guys, I have some
T-Rex
news for you.
bone. Yeah, I think it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex bone.
Okay.
Oh, for sure, the T-Rex.
I'm going to tell you as long as you mute yourselves. Okay. Here is the state fossil of New York. It's not as epic as a T-Rex, I have to warn you. This is the state fossil. This is called
I know this animal.
That
A
is
Silurian.
cool.
a Silurian sea scorpion. So this was
It looks like a scorpion.
This was a sea creature. And one fun fact about New York is that for a lot of its history, New York was underwater. So when a lot of dinosaurs were roaming other parts of the earth, a lot of New York was underwater. So we have a lot of fossils of sea creatures in New York State. And so here's the actual fossil. That's what it looked like. Now let me give you an idea of what it might kind of have looked like while it was alive. Here is this is an artist's drawing of what it might have looked like. We don't know for sure, right? Because we can't tell the color necessarily from a fossil. We might not be able to tell a lot about like color and that kind of thing from the fossil record. But what we can tell is the shape and the length of the fossil. So let me tell you a little bit about this type of creature.
That thing looks cool. And it looks
is
like
pretty
a manta. It looks like a manta ray, mixed with coral and what do you call it? Scorpion. Yeah, scorpion.
It definitely looks like a scorpion to me, and I think it had a hard shell like a scorpion. So the very first
A fish. You're right.
Okay, I need you guys to mute yourself again, okay?
Scorpion, man.
I'm gonna need you to mute yourself again. Thank you. Calvin, can you mute yourself?
Guys, tell me if you see a
Sorry, I didn't know.
Okay, all right, awesome guys, thank you. So the Silurian sea scorpion, here's a little bit about it. Over 400 million years ago, much of North America, so much of the whole continent, including New York State, was underwater. The official state fossil of New York, the sea scorpion, was a type of marine invertebrate. So a marine invertebrate is things like a lobster, a crab, those are different marine invertebrates. No, it is a sea scorpion, and it was one of the most feared undersea predators before the evolution of prehistoric sharks and giant marine reptiles. Some species of this creature grew to almost 4 feet long. So let's see a general thing about what size they were. There we go. So we have the...
that is almost tall as a human.
So that is the largest known one, but the average one was pretty tiny, right? You can see the average one up here, the orange one. But
it was really tiny.
Yeah, it's pretty tiny, but then can you imagine seeing a big one that big? So there's a lot of these skeletons.
That would like fit the size of me. Seeing a baby. Imagine seeing a baby.
Imagine seeing a baby.
Yeah, that would be. Their parents would be overprotective, so they would have might hurt you. So I don't think that you would see one.
You guys just
wait.
Did you guys just chat to me?
Oh.
All right, guys. I'm gonna need you to use the chat, okay? Instead of unmuting.
Okay.
Yourself. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. You can use the chat as much as you want, though. All right. So the next creature that we had in New York State that you have to imagine walking around in New York was this one. This fossil, actually a footprint from this fossil was found in Rockland County, which is not very far from New York City. Probably a lot of you have
I
been.
feel like that type of dinosaur would be like a businessman if it was like a human. Just like short arms, just like moves really fast. Just like, okay.
Yeah, he looks very official. I agree. So these dinosaurs were called the growlators. I'll write it in the chat so you can see how it's spelled. Growlator. There you go. So growlators, they are from the late Triassic period, about 200 million years ago. And apparently there's some evidence that there used to be packs of these animals. So this is not a solitary creature. It would travel with a bunch of other animals, a bunch of other dinosaurs. And most of them lived in New Mexico. So the fact that we found a footprint from this species in New York tells us that they may have been traveling huge distances all the way from New York to New Mexico. That's a really big distance. But they're not sure yet. There's still studies being done by paleontologists, people that study dinosaurs. So it's still kind of a question mark, but they have found the footprint of this creature in New York. And now back to a non-dinosaur creature. Here's the story. This is the real fossil from New York State. It was found in 1866. They were building a mill building where they would process like flour. And
That's the mammoth. It looks like a mammoth.
It is.
It is a mammoth.
It's actually, it's not a mammoth. Gosh, it's called the American mastodon. So it's like a mammoth, but it's not the same thing. So you can see down here, it has.
Is that an elephant? A hairy elephant? That's not an elephant.
Guys,
Okay,
I need you
like
to use the
one.
chat, please. I need you to use the chat, please. Okay?
Nice
'Cause there's too many people. So we're gonna stay muted for right now. But use the chat if you have questions. But this is not a mammoth, it's called a mastodon. So here's the discovery, how they found it. They found it when they were building a mill. So oftentimes when they're building a new building and they dig down in the ground, they'll find things that they didn't know were there. So in this case, they found the remains of this 5-ton mastodon. And it's it's roamed the expanse of New York. So it was going all through New York State. So maybe where you live, maybe at one time, these creatures walked right where you live. And it had huge herds that it roamed in. So if you've seen like Ice Age and you've seen the woolly mammoth in that, you know that sometimes woolly mammoths go in herds. This creature went in herds too, the mastodon. And they were around as recently as 50,000 years ago, which is really not that long because normally we're talking about millions of years. This one's just 50,000 years ago. That's not even that long ago. So I want everybody to imagine, close your eyes for a second. Imagine going outside your apartment building or your house and seeing 100 of these creatures running by your house. Can you imagine that? It'd be crazy, right?
I would hide in the basement.
You'd hide in the basement? That's probably
I would just
a good
like
idea.
prepare for war. If they get enough intelligence to know how to hold the gun, whole continent lockdown, complete extermination process.
So to give you an idea of how big this is, it's about the same size as an
Or
elephant.
just like lure them into
What I imagine is something else.
How much does it weigh?
By one, and I heard somebody call the National Guard, call the police, call the military.
All right,
call
please
the
no
United
yelling,
States,
no yelling.
Call everyone.
Guys,
And I
no
was
yelling.
running to the.
Who would call the military?
Call the military. How much did they weigh? Somebody asks. 5 tons. So that's about the same size as an elephant, if you've seen an elephant. Okay? So please don't yell. If
Really?
you want to talk, raise your hand. Okay, go ahead.
What I thought was the mammoth and me having a cup of tea.
Having a nice cup of tea, maybe using its tusk to drink the tea. Okay, our next animal, I want you to take a guess what creature this is related to. So everybody look really hard. Look at how it's built.
I'm taking the train.
Especially its
I think
head.
I think it's a.
What do you think, Devin?
I'm trying to follow the train. While I'm going to the next.
Oh my gosh, somebody got it. Okay, it is a beaver. Good job. I'm sorry, I don't remember how exactly to say your name, but Ogechi, is that how you say it? Ogechi. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, it's a beaver. Excellent. So you can see if you look close at this skeleton, it has these teeth in the front, right there and right there. And so this is actually a huge type of beaver. And so, yeah, it's called the giant beaver. Unfortunately, most of these guys went extinct at the end of the last ice age. And then eventually, they actually were around when humans were around. So you might have been around for when this creature was around. But eventually they did go extinct due to human predation. So people preying on them, hunting on them, and also climate change. Okay, guys, stop. Please stop saying stop, Calvin. That's annoying. Come on. So yeah, so human predation, so hunting as well as climate change led to these animals going extinct. And this is a fossil from New Jersey, so not quite New York, but really close. And this is from one of the types of dinosaurs I'll show you in a second. And they found them in New York, they found them in New Jersey, and they found them in Connecticut, which are two states really close to New York. So I'm betting they're probably at some point were these guys in New York too. Here is what an artist said this animal would have looked like. There you go. So those are fossils from that.
It looks like a velociraptor, just its tail is longer and its leg and its neck is like longer, and so is its head, and there's like spikes on its head.
Yeah, it kind
It's
of
a
does look like
it's a Dilophosaurus.
But we are finding that velociraptors.
What's a Dilophosaurus?
Velociraptors probably had feathers,
one
guys.
those things.
So it's kind of like a velociraptor, but velociraptors most likely had feathers, paleontologists are saying today. So kind of like it, but not quite the same. Okay, so guys, we're gonna do something a little bit different. This is a chart of different words that are dinosaur names. So we'll start here.
What now?
We're gonna do this second. So if you look at that chart on the left, you have words in Greek and in
Those are
Latin.
velociraptors.
So Bronto, Allo, Tyranno, Rex, Raptor, all of those words come from Latin or Greek words.
Guys,
So
please stop.
You can see that they mean certain things. So if you look across, this word means strange. Allo means strange. Bronto means thunder. So like a brontosaurus, right? Bronto is the first part of the word, means thunder. And then saurus means lizard. So it's a thunder lizard. That's what a brontosaurus means. Can you guys guess why that might be, right? They make a lot of noise, so they're very heavy, so they're kind of thundering as they walk. So I want you to figure out what each of these words mean. So you can write it in the chat. Figure out what Tyrannosaurus rex would mean, and then Stegosaurus, and then Triceratops, and Apatosaurus. So figure out what the root word is in Greek or Latin so that we can tell what kind of dinosaur it was. We can tell qualities about it from that. So look at the word. So let's do one together. So Tyranno, right? You see that first part of Tyranno? What does that mean? You look down here, it means tyrant. A tyrant is kind of like a ruler, but a very, very mean ruler that just takes all of the control.
It's the
It's
king.
like a ruler.
It means
It's
tyrant
like
king.
seize
No,
power.
it means
They
king.
rule by using a lot of force.
It means
Like it's
king.
not like,
Julius, stop, please.
okay, you can vote for me,
Sorry.
and
Okay,
but it's
Finling, what
instead
were you
it's
gonna
just
say?
like
Stop.
you're your new leader.
So it means tyrant, wizard, king.
Tyrant,
Because
lizard, king.
Because
Right, so
Rex means
Tyranno.
lizard, and Osaurus means lizard, and Rex means king.
Right, tyrant, lizard, king. Does that sound like a proper description of a Tyrannosaurus Rex? That it just rules the earth and it just does its own thing? Yeah. Okay, let's do the next one. What does
Yeah, pretty
Stegosaurus?
much because
What do you guys think stegosaurus means? Roof lizard. Now, what about a stegosaurus makes us think about a roof? Let's look up a picture so you guys know. Some of you don't know what a stegosaurus looks like. Okay, so this is a stegosaurus.
I definitely love stegosauruses. They are so cool. They like have a back as a shield, and they have spikes on their tail to defend themselves, and the plates on the back keep them warm, keep them at the right temperature.
Yeah, so stegosaurus, oh, that's to help them keep their temperature? I didn't realize that. That's for temperature control, you're saying. Interesting.
True.
So we know that the stegosaurus means roof dinosaur, right? Roof lizard. And so you can kind of see why they might call it that, right? It looks like there's a lot of roofs on top of their back. Okay, so let's see. All right, so our next one was...
it looks like a shield.
It does. It looks like a shield, a very
Julia,
scary
please
shield.
stop. Please.
Okay. Oh, I like what Xin Ling and Ying Ming wrote.
Okay,
they wrote,
now you stop.
Bad, bossy, sassy king about Tyrannosaurus
First
Rex.
you.
Sassy king. I like it. Okay.
And then I'll stop.
So let's see. What's next? So we have Triceratops. What does Triceratops mean? So the first part, T-R-I, what does that mean?
A Triceratops is a three-horned lizard with the shield.
Okay, let's look up the next
With the
part.
shield, like there's like a shield
Sarah,
for its
where's that?
for
Let's see
its
right
skull.
up here. So horned. And then the last part of the word
please
is
stop
up.
being a little bit inappropriate, please. Face.
Three-horned face. Yep.
That's Ollie.
All right, everybody, please mute yourself. A little too much noise. You can just write it in the chat. So, Triceratops, three-horned face. Let's look up a picture of Triceratops to see if the name works. Triceratops. Here we go. I think it looks pretty good. It does look like it has a three-horned face. So a lot of times we use these Latin or Greek words, these parts of words, to define something, to explain something. And a lot of words in English come from Latin or Greek words too. So let's see, can anybody think of another word that comes from a Latin or Greek word in English?
There's like one basic word. I forgot what it was. Was it the compass? No, it was something else.
Does anybody know any? Let's see. Maybe we should look it up. All right, so some common Latin words in English. Let's see. Common root words. Okay, so yeah, even just the first one. So odd, that's the root.
Like audio, like your computer audio. That's like to hear.
And it means to hear in Latin. Exactly.
Like
so
descent.
There's a lot of root words in English that come from Latin. And dinosaurs, they use that a lot. They use that to explain how the dinosaur looked. But there's lots of different words that come from Latin and come from Greek. And I used to study Latin actually in school. So I know quite a few of these. But let's get back to our dinosaur stuff. We have Apatosaurus as our last one. What does Apatosaurus mean? Let's see. Apato. Deceptive. Okay, does one person want to explain what deceptive
What's a
is?
pato? No. What's a pato?
We're gonna talk about that. It means deceptive. Who can explain what deceptive means to everybody?
Question mark.
Ooh, no one knows. Okay, I'll explain deceptive. Deceptive means kind of sneaky, like you might lie to explain something, or you might trick someone. If you're tricking someone and you're lying to someone, you're being
like a fox. Like a fox.
Like
I want to name
or a baby
fox.
fox.
Okay.
Like a thief
so,
or a thief.
I wonder why. What about this dinosaur is deceptive? I don't know. I don't know. It's an herbivore, so it only eats plants. I don't know why it's, oh, here we go. Facts about the deceptive lizard. Why is it called deceptive lizard? Oh, here we go. It explains it. Oh,
Question mark.
Here we go. Here it explains it. So they mixed it up. Basically, they mixed up the fossils. That's so funny. So that's why it's called Deceptosaurus.
Oh, was there a fossil of the ugliest in the world? I want to know that.
I don't know the ugliest dinosaur
I've
fossil.
been wondering for as long as I lived.
So I wanted to give you guys some time to create your own dinosaur.
I know what the ugliest dinosaur is in the world.
Okay, Calvin, I'm going to mute you.
What?
So, Calvin, thank you. Please stay muted. So I'm going to give you guys some time to create your own dinosaur. If you are more of a drawing person, like Eric.
Wait. How?
Excuse me. I want you to draw what you imagine as your own dinosaur. Or if you're more of a writing person, you could just write about it, write what it eats, where it lives, what its habitat is like, maybe what its predators and prey are, so what other dinosaurs might eat it or what it eats. But you can use crayons, markers, your words, however you want to describe your dinosaur. But one important thing is you have to give it a cool name. So using these different words, using these Latin words on the left here, these Latin and Greek words, I want you to create your own dinosaur name. Yeah, Shinling, you have a question?
Can we use our own words too?
You can use your own words mixed in, but use at least one word from the list, okay? All right, so as we do that, I'm gonna play a video for you guys, but I want everybody to create their own dinosaur, okay? I'm gonna get my whiteboard and I'm gonna create my own dinosaur too. And I'll play this Jurassic Park video in the background.
Oh, I love Jurassic Park. Who doesn't? She muted me. Oh. Alex, may you please be quiet?
The Cretaceous period. I mean, this thing It's a dinosaur. You're crazy, son.
That old man is very famous.
This thing has been so long. They go what a 25, 27 pack. It's off.
It's 7 o'clock.
Josh! We have a tube. Idea. Welcome to Jurassic.
Kayla? Julia, please be quiet. Where'd she go? She's right here.
All right. So Calvin, I'm going to have to ask you to stop messaging people privately. I heard that you're being really rude and that's not acceptable, okay? Or else we can't have you back next time. So please stop messaging people privately unless they're talking to you. You understand, Calvin? Okay, I hope you understand because that's the rule. All right, so who has a dinosaur that they want to share? Did anybody draw one or think of one that they really wish existed that maybe hasn't existed yet?
I thought
Cat dinosaur.
Hey, I thought of one.
Okay, what'd you think of?
I thought of a mega cat dinosaur.
A mega cat dinosaur. What's that look like?
No, a mega catsaurus. No, mega cat dinosaur. Because saurus means lizard, and it's not a lizard. No, so is cat Rex.
I think.
Can I show you which one I want to exist right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
One second. Let's finish with this one. I think one important thing, Shinling, is that all dinosaurs are lizards. Okay. All right. Let's give. Okay. You wanted to tell us about yours. Introduce yourself first, please. Okay, because we don't know your name or anything about you yet. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hi, and this is what I want to exist right now.
Okay, show us. Whoa. Cool. What kind of dinosaur is that?
It's a velociraptor. Her name is Blue. It's Blue from the Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom.
Cool.
Hey!
I've seen that. Good choice. Good choice. Blue's pretty cool. I like how Blue comes through for our heroes in the end. Thank goodness.
He said stop presenting my toy.
Okay, so I drew a dinosaur. I didn't name it, and I'm not a very good artist. One second. Let's see. Let me turn off my virtual background so you can see it.
We're not annoying.
Huh? There we go. I'm not a very good artist. That's okay.
Neither am I.
So let's
I'll
do
be right
it
back,
name.
okay?
So mine has
Whoa!
spikes. So I'm gonna name it
Sorry.
Echino. Oh, where'd it go? Echino. You see how that it has spikes? Echino, and then I'm gonna say that it's pretty. So I'm gonna add in Compso. Echinocompsosaurus. That's my dinosaur's name. Spiked, pretty dinosaur. So guys, next week we are actually going to try to change the time.
Wait, next week?
Next week we're going to
What do you
change
mean
the time
next
of our
week?
Zoom. So we do this every week.
And then next Tuesday we're gonna meet again.
Not next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
No, not next Tuesday. Listen, please. Next time I'm going to just have to mute you all for the whole time. So please stop talking when I'm talking. Okay. So the next Zoom meeting is not going to be on Thursday. It's actually going to be on Wednesday. Is anybody busy on Wednesday and knows right now that they can't do Wednesdays? Is anybody busy on Wednesdays? It's going to be at 4 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. 4 o'clock on Wednesday.
Not me.
Miss Kayla,
Yeah.
I have BCA
You have,
I
okay.
have gym too.
after school.
Okay. Who else is busy at 4 o'clock on Wednesday? You're busy.
I'm
Okay.
not busy at 4 o'clock. I go out of school at 2 something.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll send.
It just depends.
Let's see. Well, let's figure it out right now. Does this time work better for most people, or so it's either Thursdays every week at 6 o'clock or Wednesdays every week at 4 o'clock? Which one works better? Maybe I should do a vote. Let me just do a poll.
Tuesday.
No, there's no Tuesday option. It's either Thursday or Wednesday. So let me write it down for you guys so you know.
Thursday.
Thursday's better?
Wednesday. I have something.
I have after
It's true.
school.
You have after school?
I have a movie to watch.
Yes. Wow. After my school ends.
All right, then we'll just keep it.
3 o'clock.
We're just gonna keep it at this
After
time.
school, I'm free. After school, I'm free.
Okay. Well, if anybody wants to join, there's going to be one also on Wednesday. So if you want the link to both of them, I can send out the links to both of them, and it will be on different things. Probably the Wednesday one will be on something we've already talked about. So if you're new, you can totally come to Wednesday and Thursday and learn new stuff. Or if
This
you
is
just
my
wanna come-
second time here.
I know, yeah. So if you just want to come to one Thursday, we'll still do it. We'll also do it Wednesday, okay? So I'll send out an email with both links, And so make sure you're asking your parents or you're checking your own email so that you get the links to both of the classes, okay? Okay, all right, guys. Well, thanks for coming, and it was great to hang out.
Wait, how do you do emojis on the chat?
If you want to stay and talk after, I'm going to stick around. And Eric, I love your new dinosaur. It looks fantastic. Good job. So if you want to stick around and talk, you can. If not, bye, guys, and I'll see you next week.
I think we can stick around.
Nope.
Yeah. If you have anything you want to talk about, tell me about your life.
I really think that
I want to talk to Cody and Babao, remember?
Hi, my name is TBK, if you didn't know.
Oh, how do you say it? I wasn't sure.
TBK.
TBK. Okay, cool. Got it. Yeah, you guys.
Oh, Babao is my cousin.
What? Wait. TBK, you go first.
I'm Bao Bao.
Okay, bye, Kobe.
Ogechi is my sister.
Right, I figured. You guys have the same last name. That's right. Cool. Well, welcome. I hope you can come every
last
week.
name.
I'm gonna say I have so many questions for you.
Okay, cool. You can.
Kobe's gone.
What?
I have dragon headphones.
Toby Yangwa.
Ogechi's just checking herself out because she's got 2 different cameras going at the same time.
Ow! How do you do that?
I have to